Yeah. Hey, you're gonna do the always. Almost. We do our invitation. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our city council meeting on September 23rd, 2025. We're going to begin with our invocation. Councilman Hawkins will do that for us. Everybody else, please stand.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of the day that you've given to us. Thankful, Father, that summer is slowly coming to a close. Thankful, Father, for the warmer weather that we've had. We pray that the cool fronts will begin to come and give us a little relief. Pray, Father, for your guidance and for your direction this evening. You might discern the agenda, make good decisions, be with us, guide us, and direct us. We give you thanks and praise for the blessing of our community.
Amen. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the flag, I pledge allegiance to the flag, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Right. Just to make sure that everybody who's signed up that wants to speak tonight, so that we can get you on the list. All right. So tonight we have our regular agenda items. 2A, we're going to discuss and consider approval of an ordinance of the city of Bulverde, Texas, amending the budget for fiscal year 24-25. Repealing conflicting ordinances, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. To address a previous audit concern, city staff would like to realign excess budget funds to ensure proper financial coverage and compliance. The excess funds are made available with the vacant position in the Public Works Department, excess Parks and Recreation water budget, as well as professional services, to include the attorney, auditor, engineering, and inspection services. The expenses include the bridge project connecting City Hall and the Police Department, the backup battery that was damaged in recent severe weather, an unexpected wage settlement, and I'm correcting the fiscal period for some of our software renewals. And this information can be found on attachment D. I think it's page like 31 or 32 in the back. Decreasing, you'll see it's the Fund 100 to General Fund. The departments, the Public Works is 50, 55 is the Parks and Recs, and then 90 is the professional services. And then the items on the bottom list show the items that I'm repurposing those budget numbers. The salaries for the planning department is to account for the September 12th to the 26th accrued pay period that will be paid on October 1, but we're going to have to move it back because it's actually September's expense, recognizing that for fiscal year. And then some of the software last year was paid, or I think it was October. And so looking at it, it really should have been in the September renewal. I just want to realign those and get that corrected. Any questions about that?
No questions?
No.
No, it's just moving that.
Just look around.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, just
just
correct.
moving it around.
Yes, Ted?
So, just wondering how it was when we went through the budget, when we missed $128,000 for PD building.
That I'm not sure of. I know that 2024 budget, I think it was in there, and they didn't bring it over for the remainder of it for 2025. I'm not sure what'll happen.
I think the bridge cost a lot more than expected.
Yeah, and it kind of went on for about
We should have had a
6
line
months
for it
longer.
in the 26 budget.
I remember that.
We were still paying that expense.
And I thought,
That-
I thought the bridge was covered under our public fund. That was the whole reason.
Some of it, yeah,
They messed it up and they had to go in and re-weld the handrail. You know,
and
We had to pay-
oxidize it and all
We
kinds
had
of
to pay for all that for every time they screwed up?
No, but it pushed us back almost 6 months, maybe 8 months.
Okay.
It was really a mess.
Oh,
and-
yeah, I knew it. Yeah, I know what's going on. Yeah.
We're just
Yeah, make-
realigning the items from 23, 24,
Yeah,
25, right?
just recognizing that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and that project is finished. Like I
Is
said,
this all that's gonna get us to the end of the year? Do you anticipate anything else?
this is, at this point, yes. If there are any other items, I think they're immaterial.
Okay.
You know, like $100 here, $50, things like that. Because I tried to get as close as I possibly could. But I think this should get us through the year. Depending on what the auditor wants me to do, I may need to realign some things, but I doubt that. So I'll see what she says.
Gotta pay the bill? Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We ready? Any more questions?
Just a minute, I just want to make sure. something's ready.
We'll have to call it and fix it before we actually get started in the fiscal year.
Start off on there. Good.
Yeah.
Certainly because of things.
So basically, the 212, if I read this and went over this the way I looked at it, the expense accounts will be decreased, the 212, right?
Correct.
But it's the same amount that we're gonna increase to these, because we're just moving it,
We're just, moving the shells around.
just
Realigning
realigning
the money.
it to where, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I did that when I went
Yeah.
through it.
It's not additional money
Yeah.
that need to be appropriated. It's just moving it around. What's not being used over here, we're gonna move it over there.
Okay, can you tell me where the 128,000 was originally?
Originally, it was in the attorney, the auditor, the engineering service, and the inspections, which is, they are all part of the professional service. The account numbers, it's the the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth item at the top.
Third, fourth, and sixth. And then the engineering services are gonna go back into there too, right? Is that correct?
The engineering services were decreasing their budget by $57,500,
Okay, but we're putting it where now?
and we're moving it to cover part of the building,
Okay,
of the bridge project.
and where originally was the software?
The software it was in the October of 2025 budget, but it really needs to be in September.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just make sure that I was reading right, and that's what I
Yeah,
saw before.
I just want to get it in the right period so that when
Sure.
we do the budget next year, we'll know that we have to account for that in September as opposed to thinking it's going to be fiscal year 27.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the salaries and all that already. I'm
Okay.
good. All right,
I'll move to approve an ordinance of the city of Fort Worth, Texas, amending the budget for fiscal year 24 to 25, repealing conflicting ordinances, providing severability clause, and providing an effective date. I'll second that.
do we have any, we'll open this at 6:37. Do we have any speakers for this? Okay, so it's 6:37, and if we have no speakers on this, then we'll go ahead and close it at 6:37.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a motion and a second. So, you second, correct?
I did.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. So, we can take a vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nobody opposes? Okay, so all of this. All right, okay, moving on to C. To B, excuse me. Consider approval of a resolution adding City Secretary Simon Burnham as signer of the City of Bulverde's bank accounts and removal of Planning Director Danny Bates and Police Chief Gary Hager as signers of Bulverde's bank accounts.
Yeah, go ahead. So what we're doing there is we're restructuring the depository signature to streamline our process and procedures of how we checks cash. I'm not having to chase people around and try to find out to get that second signature, which is required. That would leave myself, Mr. Castro, and Ms. Ham at this time as signers on the account.
Anyone have any questions?
I assume Mr. Castro on board with this.
Makes perfect sense to me.
We're just going back to pre.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
good.
Ready for motion?
Yep.
I make a motion to approve a resolution adding City Secretary Sandra V. Ham as signer of the City of Bulverde's bank accounts, removal of Planning Director Danny Batts and Police Chief Gary Hager as signers of the City of Bulverde.
Second.
All right. We'll open this for public comment. Do we have any comments on that? I don't have any on my notes. So we'll close this at 6:39 p.m. All right. Okay. We'll take a vote on that. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Resolution passed on there. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tim. 2C, we're going to hold a public hearing, consider an ordinance of the City of Bulverde, Texas, approving a special use permit at 30563 Deerfield Terrace, Bulverde, Texas 78163 to permit the operation of a guest house, amending the zoning ordinance, directing the amendment of the zoning map, repealing conflicting ordinances, and providing a severability clause and an effective date.
Mayor and Council, a few years ago, the City Council amended the zoning ordinance to allow guest houses in the R2 district via SUP. We've had quite a few of these over the years. This is the most recent one, located at 3563 Deerfield Terrace, is proposed to be 547 square feet, which is substantially less than the maximum they'd be allowed at 998 square feet. The city has not received any objections from neighboring properties. And I believe the applicant's here. If y'all have any questions for me, the applicant would be happy to take.
So this is entirely just a family guest house. It's not being used for a rental property.
That's correct. Our ordinance prohibits the
Correct.
use of guest houses for rental purposes.
Well below the square footage that they're wanted, single drive, line house,
Correct.
not anything wrong with it. It meets everything that we were looking for. Meets the criteria. Then they need to stand like.
It kind of looked like that. I think there's a 10-foot setback on the sides of the park. It did look like the drive maybe encroached a little bit in the 10-foot setback.
Is the driving already existing today? Does the drive already exist today? The driveway?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I think do we allow driveways and setbacks? I think we amended our ordinance to allow that a few months ago. So yeah, I don't believe.
Join the crowd.
Here with it.
I don't believe the driveway being in the setback definition.
Okay. And I guess the other concern would be is that wide enough to get an emergency vehicle back to the guest house if it's needed, or is that even a concern?
So our code doesn't provide any requirements related to widths or anything on private drives.
Which is all my question.
Okay.
Councilman Taylor, you had something to ask?
No, I said it.
Councilman Hayes? Councilman Allen?
A little off topic, but I guess on the, looks like we put a retention pond there. So please look into that as far as discharge of that. just a little different in a residential setting. So
Yeah,
they're gonna do a drainage study.
they'll have to do that at the building permit stage. They can't even do that yet because they don't have authority to.
Yeah, just different as a. I don't want to see a complaint down the road with a neighbor, and then them having to discharge erosion control with these adjacent properties. So
Certainly.
I mean, you know, it's
All right.
Make a motion.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I'm making a motion to approve an ordinance of the city of Bulverde, Texas, approving a special use permit at 30563 Deerfield Terrace, Bulverde, Texas, 78163. Permit the operation of a guest house, amending the zoning ordinance, directing the amendment of the zoning map, repealing conflicting severability clause, and an effective date.
Second.
Mayor, may I ask that we open the public hearing?
Yes, so, can we open a public hearing at 6:44? Do you have any comments on it?
No,
All right, I one question, just real quick. Any, the wording of this, it says to permit the operation of a guest house.
Where, what page you looking?
This is where it says in 2C.
The agenda.
Yeah, the agenda says to permit the operation of a guest house. I just want to make sure that that isn't misread as saying that can be a rental at any shape or
The
form.
ordinance itself specifically calls out that no, rentals can be,
I understand. Just making sure we're dotting our i's and crossing our t's.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
a special use permit.
Yeah, that's why I just want to make sure.
yeah, no other uses are authorized under the code and the general code prohibits it.
All right, just making sure everybody's okay with wording on that? Yeah. Okay, all right, so, we can take this to vote. We have a second, correct?
Second.
And, no, public comments on this? Okay. Right. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Okay, all right. Ordinance passes there. Okay. 2D. Hold a public hearing and consider the approval of an ordinance granting a variance to section 3.08.02B4 of the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances at 20419 State Highway 46, Bulverde, Texas, 78163.
Mayor and council, this is a request on the, what I'm gonna call the Texas Regional Bank site, even though that's only one small, or a smaller portion of the site. It's all under the same owner. Our ordinance, sign ordinance provides that you can only have one monument type sign for 500 linear feet of road frontage. What you have here on the first image is what would be a compliant sign package. There's one roughly at the corner of Bulverde Crossing and Highway 46. That's the one that's highlighted in the upper left-hand corner that shows dedicated Texas Regional Bank. And then a multi-tenant sign way down, 500 feet away from that one, on the Bulverde Crossing side. We can go to the next slide. We'll see what the applicant is proposing. They're asking to move, to add an additional multi-tenant sign for the second building, which is a large multi-tenant building, to also not just to have it, but to move it closer than 500 feet from the Texas Regional Bank sign. Also to move the multi-tenant sign on Bulverde Crossing closer to align it with that entrance than the 500 feet buffer would allow. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended denial of the application. The applicant was informed at the time they applied for the TRB sign that would take up their only one that they could build by right, and they chose to move forward and ask for variance. And now I believe the applicant's here. I'm going to turn it over to the applicant if he has anything to say, or if you have any questions there.
Yeah, so what we're trying to ask for is to bring those two signs in a little closer. If we have to move the one on 46 further out, it would basically put us almost right there at the edge where the detention pond goes. And for that multi-tenant building, that's right past that entrance. And so traffic coming from that other direction could basically pass it and not see that. And the same thing coming down at the bottom here, moving that a little bit closer to where the entrances are is what we're looking for.
Will it be redundant businesses on the signs? Like, will the same one on this one be on the one over there?
I believe so, yeah. Well, they'll have their signs over there so that, we can have that traffic as they're coming in, get to the multi-tenant building.
So if I remember the argument for planning and zoning, the issue was created because TRB chose to singularly put themselves up there in the corner without adding the rest of the businesses. Meaning that if they wanted another monument sign on 46, they could have done so with variance. It might have been possible. And now they want both, one down here on Overhead Crossing and another one on Highway 56. So I think the reason that it was not is they give them an opportunity to come back on a variance if they want to do one, or if they want to do both of them, that's go back to TRB and ask for the.
And I do believe the actual dimensions of each sign are in the next slide, next couple slides. So you can see the sizes of them and heights and whatnot.
So,
Danny, are these signs compliant with the?
If this one prohibition of too many and too close was removed, then yeah.
Okay.
So for instance, if the Texas Regional Bank sign was removed, the other two would be, except for the one all over.
They're a lot smaller than the Singing Hill monument.
so I'm gonna go back to this, okay? I want you to explain the hardship of this variance.
We are just wanting to get the signage a little bit closer to our building, and so that the tenants can have, their signage out front. It's what is we lease these sites out. These tenants would, their big concern is always signage. They want to be visible. They want to be able to be seen from the highways. So that's kind of what we're asking for, to see if that can be allowed.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with the two monument signs that the Texas Regional Bank sign as the way the variance is presented. This is our hard commercial area. That's a dense cluster of businesses in Building B. You got a sign at each entrance, no different than Singing Hills. They're smaller signs. They're a lot better looking in my opinion. And then personally, you say, well, you come down 46, you already got one there, you don't need one for crossing. Well, I mean, I stay away from 46 all I can. I come down, I hit the turnaround, I go down 40 crossing. I try not to ever go near 46. So I think it's, this is one of our last sales tax areas. I remember past city council meetings kind of built out a little denser. For that reason, I think it's appropriate that they get the signage in the right spot.
So do we want to think about this, where that's gonna take us later? Because we just went through the chase and why we didn't. And then we were doing this one, so I'm just.
It's case by case basis. I mean, if we go by the ordinance, that sign's gonna be way down here at the corner. It's not even gonna be visible like that inside.
I think we keep going back to the issue of, access were established prior to the current ownership or development, correct? So everybody was good with it then. Now we come back with another variance to change it all around. And I'm not comfortable with this at all.
I think it's redundant. I think having those two signs.
I do too.
If you had one sign that had the businesses on that portion up there, and maybe the one down there had the others, that would make more sense than having the exact same. To me,
I think that.
Like instead of the Texas Regional Bank sign.
well, Texas Regional just kind of caused it.
Well, yeah, they're building A and they're kind of,
Their building is off to the side.
But if they were amenable to address it, it'd be more amenable to consider a variance for it. Since they're not amenable to address it, why should you consider a variance?
There you go.
Okay.
What's the signage of the TRB building look like?
I believe it's in the next slide. That's the monument. Like I said, they didn't show that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any of the sign, building sign package.
For TRB.
So basically, Overhead Crossing.
No, the bank. I think it's got signs. It is the main sign on the building facing 46 or.
I believe it's facing 46.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got a big sign facing 46, and you have a monument sign there.
And we continue, that
That'd be okay.
intersection,
Getting rid of the TRP sign on the corner and having the two monument signs at the entrance, but, within the 500 feet.
That'd be a lot
Yeah.
by right.
Yeah.
They can have
Yeah, they can have that.
That's 500 feet from
that's
that
not the
entrance.
variance.
Yeah, it's the TRB that's the problem.
The TRVs.
Yeah, that causes issue.
They don't lose that, they don't.
Yeah, but they would have to get rid of the TRP.
Yeah.
So, all right. Councilman Hawkins, do you have anything to add?
No, I have nothing personally against TRB. They're my, I do a lot of business with them. But they cause the problem. And I understand they probably are very proud of that building and want to have a monument sign. Perfectly understandable. But Jason makes a little bit of a point. I'm not going to go walk that extra edge unless I see that they're willing to come back.
That's a good one, Like I said, I'd like to see the project have a monument sign on 46 and 40 crossing at each entrance.
And you had asked me ago if they were gonna have the same, I'm looking at the sign there and counting, you're probably not gonna be able to get both of them. So there will be different businesses at each sign because you can't fit everybody onto the one sign, so.
Yeah, the problem is the TRB.
Councilman here?
No.
All right, we're gonna open this for, public comment. Is there any public comment on this? 6:54. There being no public comment, we will close this at 6:54. All right, so. I'm gonna make a motion. Make a motion to deny the consideration of the approval of ordinance granting variance to section 3.08.102B4 the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinance at 20419 State Highway 46, Bulverde, Texas 78163. You don't have to start this. Right. I guess we'll go ahead and take that to vote. Everybody, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Denied. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 2E. Hold a public hearing and consider the approval of an ordinance granting a variance to chapter 10A, section 4.04E related to disturbance within steep slopes and section 4.05 related to cuts and fills of the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances on 128 acres located south and east of Bell Oaks Ranch subdivision, north of the Monteola subdivision and west of the Centennial Beach subdivision.
Council, this is the, as the mayor mentioned, this is the former Wabash track. Let's see, what's the, Bergwald Development is, the new name of it. They are requesting a series of variances. Most of them are relatively minor. The ordinance exempts, cuts and fills and things like this within the road right of way. There are a few portions of this work, and I'll let the applicant point those out, where they come outside of the roadway slightly into the lots. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval. They didn't identify any serious deviations that would be of concern. And I'll turn it over to the applicant to kind of walk through what he's asking for here.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is
You can say
Bergwald.
Bergwald. Just want to make sure I got it written down correct. Thank you.
It's right there. Yeah, Bergwald, right.
Oh, on the right. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Wayne Flores. I'm with Colliers Engineers, representing Chris Miller, developer on the track. What Mr. Miller is trying to do, create large lot subdivisions, save as many trees as possible. We even laid out the roads, staked them, went and walked, looked at ways we could just tweak the right of way in order to save trees as much as possible. few areas that obviously you have to slope back in order to make that happen. And that's what's happening here. The majority of the cut and fill actually occurs in the detention basins. We've laid those out in a way that, again, will minimize the destruction of trees. The only way we could do that with the topo we have here and still get the volume is to actually do stair-step basins in series, which is going to wipe out way more trees. So that's our whole reasoning here. If you got any questions?
Looks like you've done a tree survey.
We have surveyed the trees around the rights of way and around the drainage channels. The drainage channels and detention. This this site, if you look at the aerial photography, you can see it is covered up with trees.
Yeah.
And so,
it also appeared like you tried to lay it out, try to
That's what I was gonna say.
minimize the action.
exactly.
I walked many hours a day, and
No,
there's a reason why the roads are like it is.
Yeah.
I appreciate your emphasis on the trees. Yeah, you look at this graphic here and then you look at the aerial.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
So, the green trees stay, obviously, the red trees have to go. If we were to not get the green trees have to go. And that's, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Any majestic trees or anything like that? You ever look at there? Or?
I didn't see any majestic.
I don't think
I just
so.
looked
I think we're one inch short of majestic, but I moved it to keep it.
Yeah.
So there's one right at the bottom left of your screen that's, they're like whatever, 1 inch below 36 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we shifted around.
You can also see a few islands that we've done in order to save clusters of trees. Same thing.
Danny, on the roads, everything, we can get an emergency vehicle in there now, we were looking around and everything, you know?
Yeah, they're meeting our standards for, just about everything. There was one on that one curve, I think they were allowed to make it slightly curvier, but
Okay,
no, there's no.
and in the cul-de-sacs, we're okay?
We came here like 6 months ago with the previous council. I remember Chris, Joe, and Clint were here, and we got a development agreement variance already before we started on the radii of the road. That's the upper left road. It's a little tighter than code, but it still allows for emergency vehicles, 26-foot wide road.
I guess the reason we're asking that is because we have a new ladder truck, new fire truck, and so we're worried about it being able to get into all the locations that want to get there. I don't think any of us want to sell some lots that emergency vehicle wouldn't be able to get to if a car's parked in there. So that's why that question is coming up, just to concern, and obviously I was not on concern.
Yeah.
Councilman Hayes?
I think they've done everything they can do. I mean, it's obvious that they, went over and above to preserve. And it's going to cost us a little more. It's going to cost us a little more cut and fill, but
It's just literally a mountain.
Yeah.
It starts like this and drops down.
and has a full drainage study been done on this?
Actually, we've done lots.
Yeah, we're working through the plans right now with city.
Okay, because that's my concern when we talk cut and fill. So, that's my big thing.
Yeah, we couldn't come to y'all earlier. We knew we'd have to do something, but we didn't have the specifics until we got to the point.
Sure.
And now we're at that point where we have to be here.
Councilman Alexander?
So you mentioned something about stair step in the basins. What do you mean by that?
If you can go back to right there. So this is a prime example. This is our basin, that long linear piece that's right next to our property line.
Okay.
Slightly off, obviously, to discharge the water. But the topo, all sheet flows down very steep, going down to that point. And so we're trying to go parallel to the contours, cutting back into the hill to create volume. And so the only way to get that volume and, not be able to, be limited to 4-foot cut is you're going to have multiple basins going up that hill. And
There's terminal point stair step.
yeah, well,
Okay, so that was my,
and every time you're going to lose trees. Every time.
yeah, okay. That was my concern, I guess. As
We're
far
making
as,
that as long and skinny to keep it out of the way of everybody.
I'll point out the other basin on the other side of the property. There's an existing pond on the site that we're utilizing because, hey, there's no trees there today. let's utilize that, and that's fewer we gotta take out.
So that point over there is the low point as far as what's gonna take all the sheet flow. I guess it's all at that quarter over there.
It's kind of center, going to the west is the discharge point.
Yeah, but what's the entrance point?
The main entrance is that channel coming up kind of the northeast. That comes from the road, flows into the basin. And then those three lots, 20, 21, and 22 sheet flow into it.
The inflows on the north side. High north.
It's interesting having just sheet flowing that much through that channel, so that's why I asked that, but I mean, looks like it needs to happen. And then also my other question is, so there's some drops as far as like 4 feet, so what's gonna happen on that drop where you cut to the property line? Because there's no retaining wall shown there.
Okay, so that's the reason our outfall structure is pulled back off the property line a bit. That way you have a concrete weir coming out of the basin, spills over, and it's not an immediate like retaining wall drop. It slopes down, and then you've got spreader berm spreads the water out before it leaves the site.
Okay. What about the roads? Because I was noticing more on the roadside where you're gonna have some cuts between 4 to 5 feet, and it just cuts, and you don't show any retaining walls.
Right. So if you look, most of our roads are going perpendicular to the contour. Do that so that you're able to stay with the grade. There's very little cut or fill. Obviously, you got to connect the roads though. And where we do that, and you're going more parallel to the contours, that's where you're having to cut on the high side, fill on the low side. And due to the topo out here, there's no way to do that without cutting back into the lot, or you're going to have a ginormous wall there.
Right.
It's hilly property. It's very, yeah.
Yeah, so you're cutting back into the lot further than what you're saying there, or I guess that's what I'm trying to understand, because some of the.
We're filling the road up, so we have less time.
You can go, some of the other.
The higher you start, the less you can cut into the road and knock down less.
Yeah, but I didn't see that, because I saw like
Go the other
steep.
direction.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, it shows up here.
Right
zoom in like ultra to look at those elevations, but there's some areas where it's spread, and I mean it's like it's a really quick cut.
So this area right here is the bottom part of the page. We're going, as I said, more parallel to the contours. That red on the east side is where we're having to cut into the hill a bit. The kind of purple on the west side is where we're having to fill and go down. Without doing a retaining wall, you can only go a 3-to-1 slope down. And this grade is so steep out here, you've got to chase that down a ways before you can hit natural grade.
Right.
And so that's what we're running.
The question might be, just in the put a retaining wall, please.
Yeah, and really because I don't see that, I just see a quick drop, like a cut. I don't see it sloping back like you're saying. That's what I was expecting.
There are a few areas. I think this is one of them right here where that red is, that we do have some retaining walls. I think they're maximum 4 feet high, little stair step. Obviously we tried to avoid that as much as possible. But I think, as I recall, there were some trees just into that property we were trying to save. So we said, okay, we'll do a little wall here to get back and
I
save
think that thick black line is the wall on that red area. And the same thing on there's a little bit like a 10-foot wide wall on the bottom right to get to collect. Because there was like 3 oak trees, and I was like, we're spending money to move it, but it's gonna look pretty.
So you're saying this right here,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
and over here?
No, that's sloping down.
That's fine.
And the one up there?
That's just sloping down onward.
And I guess I was having a hard time understanding.
Yeah, me too.
Like, what's the road width, right? How much width do we have here? What's the easement, utility easement, or whatever you want to call setback here? And what's this distance between, the lot?
So the pavement width is 26 feet. The right-of-way width is 60 feet. That gives us room for the bar ditches along the side. And then the easement, the typical utility easement along there is 20 feet. Now, in this particular case, because we were grading a little bit beyond that, we did a grading and wall easement on that lot to be able to put the wall there, grade back slightly more, and that way there's an easement there so that that wall right there would be on the main, or it'd be on the property owner's lot, but maintained by the HOA.
Danny, what's the impact once they get driveways into these lots with that?
Well, the driveways would be their own, they're not gonna be coming through any of these zones. You can't touch it, hasn't.
Sure, that's why I'm asking. We've seen crazier things, so.
This is a private road, so the HOA will be primarily responsible for determining where the connections happen. But I doubt that they would allow, that would compromise their structure, so I don't believe they'd allow that.
No, so what I'll say there, these are 5-acre minimum lots. A lot of them are 8 acres and much larger, have quite a bit of road frontage there.
Yeah. The house isn't gonna be far off the road.
We've made sure that each lot has an area that they can get a driveway.
Councilman Hawkins,
Wishes.
Councilman Craigwitz.
Oh, it looks like you laid it out to the best of your ability. There's no problem.
Anybody want to add anything to that?
I don't have a problem with the roads. My concern is gonna be are the lot, I guess the homeowners by the lot, are they gonna have to come back to do another cut and fill to get into their property?
No. That's probably design hours. You might have to.
Now, there's plenty of room, almost, if you zoom out, there's plenty of room to enter into the property.
On every lot.
And I guess it's just because you can't see where, because we don't know, right? I mean, where's
You can see now.
And we don't know exactly how they're gonna design, it's possible as they come in, they may wanna cut, we've had cuts for driveways before, that had request variance. That's all in the future, we don't really know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be site design.
Yeah, these are going to be custom homes, so
Just
it's hard to say exactly.
They could come back to y'all and ask for something, another kind of pillar.
Yeah.
Variance. That's not our problem. But we're giving them the space without trees to go in.
So if you're giving us your assurances that as you lay this out, there shouldn't be any cuts and fills necessary for drives.
Well, I don't know where the drive was.
Well, and that being said, do we have any situation where the road is 5 feet above or 5 feet below the level of the lot across the entire lot? You all know of that today? That's literally no way to get in there without doing anything.
I saw some that were about 5 feet. Some are even, and then maybe the pond, some were like 10 feet.
But across the whole.
But not across the whole, I don't know what they're not shown, they're kind of just shown in that area. They're not.
There's a lot of frontage for a road here.
I just think they're gonna have to cut back more. That's just my.
Still, at the end of the day, the choice is save trees and who cuts and fills. I'd rather do cuts and fills. To be honest.
Yeah.
Which is what,
As long as they're not impacting drainage.
yeah, as long as they're not impacting draining,
Oh,
or saving the trees.
From an engineer's perspective, that's my main concern.
Yeah,
Believe
I
me.
pushed them on that.
That's,
The water is the most important thing.
Right.
For him.
I won't get in trouble with the state board if I take out some trees. I will if I mess up your.
There you go.
It's a 26-foot road. Is that right?
I copied Montreal, I live in Montreal, so I measured that. That was wide enough.
Anything else? Anything else? Okay.
Public comment.
Yes. And we're gonna open this up for public comment, 7:12. I have nothing on my list for public comment, so we can actually close this at 7:12. All right, so do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve an ordinance granting a variance to chapter 10A, section 4.04E related to disturbance within steep slopes, and section 4.05 related to cuts and fills of the City of Bulverde Code of Ordinances on 1 to 8 acres located south and east of the Bell Oaks Ranch subdivision, north of the Monteola subdivision, and west of the Centennial Ridge subdivision.
Second.
All right, we have a second. All right, we take that to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
And nobody opposed? All right,
Thank you.
thank you. We don't want to see you for a while, okay? All right, so we're gonna open this up. Speaker for public comment. Rhonda?
Rhonda Zunker, President of the Boulevardy Spring Ranch Chamber. Welcome, Council and Mayor. Just wanted to kind of update you on a couple of community events that are going to be coming up. One, our golf tournament is next Tuesday. Love any of y'all to come out and join us. It's for the celebration afterwards. It'll be at Valor Creek Golf Course. It is a little bit trek up the road at around 2 o'clock, but we'll be out there. The community on October 18th will be able to clean up their big trash and shred their materials if they'd like to. We'll be hosting our community-wide shred day event at Bill Brown Elementary School parking lot, again between 9 and 12.
So that was October 18th?
October 18th. It's the same day y'all, the city big trash day is. So they can drop off their trash and then bring down their paperwork and do that. We'll be working with Rangers Shredding again and have that working. Excuse me. On October 25th, we'll be partnering with both Mount County and the Boulevardy Police Department to host the DEA Drug Take Back Day. We'll be having a location here at the Boulevardy Police Headquarters, and then also on 353 Rodeo Drive at the main fire and EMS station. So we are moving right along with planning for the Boulevardy Christmas lighting on November 28th. Things are moving along well, and we'll continue doing that. And we've got notification that Twine, the restaurant up here, will be opening up. They're going to be doing a Friends of Family type dinner on the 2nd of October, and I believe they're hoping to open the next day. So I think things are coming along really well with them. They've had some challenges, but they're excited and looking forward to getting open and getting the community in there. So
That was October 2nd?
Yes.
October 2nd.
Yes.
Beautiful building.
Yeah. So any questions that y'all have of anything going on? I know the businesses in the new strip there at Singing Hills are, some of them are getting their keys this Friday, so their contractors will be starting. And I know, and after having a fantastic Nothing Bundt Cake today at Fossil Creek's ribbon cutting, they are excited. They're hoping to open mid-November. So
This is the street just south of Walmart.
right between Walmart and Bill Brown. So we've got a chiropractor. I don't know if y'all heard everything that's coming in there.
And Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, Dunkin' is not. They're coming,
But they're in
but they're going to be in a separate building.
What
So-
about Bahama Bucks? What about Bahama Bucks?
Bahama Bucks, Jersey Mike's, a nail shop, a chiropractor, Nothing But Cakes. Huh? That one was not confirmed by. Yeah, no, but they were not confirmed. An Asian restaurant.
Noodles
Give me
or
just a
something?
second. I know I'm
Noodles
gonna
or
probably go over my 3 minutes here, but Kim Gatley, I'll give you the name of that one.
I thought it was like toasted yogurt or something. I guess you changed.
Well, and I asked if, because I had understood a Salad Works was coming and she said no, but maybe it's just not confirmed. Okay. So, sorry, Bahama Bucks, a nail salon, I don't know how to say the first name, New Spine Chiropractic, Jersey Mike's, Club Pilates, Nothing But Cakes, and Broth and Basil, which is an Asian restaurant. Those are the ones confirmed. There are a couple more spots, which is probably the pet store and stuff. And then in the attached, it'll be a detached building will be the Dunkin', now they don't call it Dunkin' Donuts anymore, Dunkin' and the Baskin Robbins. So, but that one, I assume they're gonna be starting that building pretty soon. So,
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks.
Mr. Chavez. Come on down. Good evening.
Thank you very much for approving the guest house. We've been waiting for so long. We haven't built the driveway because we wanted to build the foundation at the back. So we're working on it.
It's getting.
When's the pool start?
No, probably not this year.
I understand.
Yes. So we're working on it. They're working on the septic as we speak. So hopefully before Thanksgiving, we'll have the house ready.
Great. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the kind of guest house that what we wanted our ordinance to tailor for that sort of.
Oh, thank you.
fit it
Yes.
perfect.
I think it will be a beautiful guest house. Good.
Thank you.
Part of the property will be there. Yes.
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Chavez.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we have for public speaking. Anything else? Oh, we're good. Okay, we will adjourn this meeting tonight at 7. Rolling. Yay.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a total, I'm just gonna say we did it all.
You guys are good. What?
Number one,
Yeah, what's going on right now?
we typically ask for. Oh, we haven't, okay, obviously, this wasn't a special meeting, second Thursday or whatever, so I am sorry, I forgot that we had put that there.
It's like, I don't think we usually didn't do the exhortation.
And the budget, but I called you on Friday, I didn't have it listed. And I was like, I'm not gonna start adding it. So we're looking forward, I'm happy to add it, but. I don't know, I just made it. So then I will. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Is to listen and to be transparent and it's not that we have to be recorded. And we just wanted to hit her. Okay, how good the restaurants are gonna no. And somebody asked me, and I apologize, what is the last name? Because I believe I made it incorrectly. Alexander? Okay, I don't know where I got Alexander. Where, somebody's like.
It was swapped with my grandmother. So.
Okay, so I will make sure that I say that correctly, so apologize.
There you go, right? The color.
That was nice. Yes, they are. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it most of the work. It's just like, okay. I don't expect the box on, but that's it. Is they do like set off we'll have that. It's more, something is going wrong with this person, don't go with mine. I think you all have a great. So that should catch that.
make sure, but also review what the engineer of those houses. All these look good. The ones down below.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one's easier.
No, that's good, yeah. No, thank you, appreciate it.
You good, you want to see it? It's easy, this is easier to see. Yeah. Than the computers. So that's why I printed out. That's just how I read. Yeah, I don't look at my screens. Yeah. I'll show him how, like these are those are 5 foot contours, these are 1. So it looks really big, steep, but it's spread out over a pretty good stack. And this one, and then the one over here is kind of steep, but they're all the same, they're code. And that's what we designed. It's beautiful, it's really hard to look. Yeah, exactly. And when people we start going, and I think there'll be a lot of people who have to figure out how to build and get these things done. And so it's beautiful with, you gotta think outside the box. I think you'll be seeing some tree stuff or whatnot. I think the number was 436 trees saved. So the green ones are 436. And so that was what, I don't know if you were gonna ask or not. That's what we saved by walking in. Yeah, I looked through all the numbers that I was looking at. It's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. I hated to see those go, but we lose 330 is what we have to cut down. The red is 330. And that's out of the 10,000 trees, it's not like this. Yeah. Stay solid green. It was a challenge, but and the homeowners are gonna have some of the same issues as they try. There's a lot of seed. The good thing is they're spaced out. I walked along a lot, so you're gonna have to cut down cedar trees, but that's no issue. Yeah, that's not. Just so there's every build site that I've found has an area to go. If you wanted to follow what I think I designed, so nobody's got a problem, but it's the people that want to build 10,000 foot mansion. Well, that's your problem. Yeah. So until you take the speeders out, you really don't know what you got. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to cut out until I know what. And I walk it and everything. Anyway, good job. You have a good night. Yeah, lead up there. I told Danny that. Sure.
Let me set it up where but I haven't checked off. I forgot to tell you that on the 25th. Like I said, if not, it's the 2 engineers that are using it on lunch.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be comfortable if we have to meet now. She's got a instructor from Australia here.
Oh, really?
So she's pretty intense. I guess they have a whole week. Like retreat type thing. And they have to build a house or something going on. All right, so I am not putting anything else in the answer for that. Hey Ted, are you doing? I need to go back and make sure
I don't think you have, but I will mark it now.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
Are scattered all over. Well, I told Debbie I want water delivery. Usually we do that in the morning of the
All right. Well, just let me know what you want.
And the light.
And the lunch. And
I'll send you a calendar.
okay.
The class will
Your table this time.
Pretty special, you ain't gonna see it.